Alright, in this one I will present what bit fields are. So bit fields are a way to say how many bits does a field of a struct take in memory. And this is extremely useful when you're trying to parse information from a binary source. So if you're trying to read IP packets or a binary file like an image or some things like this. So let me just show you an example. So this is how you do bit fields. So it's just a regular struct with regular fields, but you add two dots and then a number, and the number is just the number of bits it will take in memory. So here we have the first four field that will take 4 bits. And then this one will take 4 bits, and then this one will take 1 bit only, and then this one will take 7. And it should be only 2 bytes in size at the end. I can actually print this. Sizeof struct foo. Up. See, it's 4. So like the type you write is an int, and it will be interpreted as 1, but in memory, it's actually only 7 bits. And what you can do is just, it's just like a regular struct. Now you can do f first 4 is equal to, I don't know, to 2, next 4 is equal to 22, and yes, and apparently 22 isn't available in 4 bits, so it's not, the compiler says that even warns you that, for example, if I do alone is equal to this, it will say it's truncating it because it's actually only 1 bit in memory, so you can only put, I guess, a 1 or a 0 in it. Don't know why there is still this warning even with that one, and so on with the rest of it. And the way you would use that in real life is if you, let's say you have I don't know, let's say even a file descriptor to go lower level is equal to open something, and then you would do read from your file descriptor, and then if you don't know the read system call, which you should, it takes a file descriptor, a buffer, and the size of this buffer. And what you can do if you have just a binary file or a socket is just the file descriptor to that file or this socket, and then do your struct foo, and then sizeof f, and boom, like you've just parsed the binary data into your struct, and yeah, that was very easy. And this is like the feature I miss the most when I go to other languages. So to give you a more practical example, this is, for example, the IPv4 header format. So as you can see, it has a version that is 4 bits, and then you can see that like the number of bits isn't like byte aligned to save space, because in networking it's crucial to do that. And you can see you have 4 bits here, and then you have 3 bits here, and you have 13 here, so it's all over the place. And imagine without the bit fields, you would have to like do binary shifts all over the place, and it would be a nightmare. But with the bit fields, it's actually very easy to implement. And I can show you one of my projects where I use this, my ping, where I re-implement just the ping command, which works with ICMP, which is built on top of the IP protocol. And so here, if you go in main, I import a bunch of headers that are standard, and you can see there is a standard IP header struct and a IP ICMP. So that ICMP is a ping protocol, and if you visit those in the standard library, you can see that the standard library is actually using bit fields to parse those. So the version and Helen thing that are 4 bits at the start, you can see that here it has both. And it also takes into account stuff with NDNS, but that's for something else. And then you can see that actually it's not using bit fields for the rest, it's using just a different size unsigned integer, but they could as well use bit fields. The other example is for binary file. So here is the BMP file, which is just a very simple format for to store an image on disk. And you can see it has again a header file with sometimes it's 4 bits, sometimes it's a byte, sometimes there is weird rule that you have to, it's 36 bytes in total, and you have to concatenate them in weird ways. And yeah, then you just have a struct where literally every single fields of this binary data is just a field in your struct, and you can just use bit fields to automatically and very rapidly parse it with a simple read. And of course that works with a write as well, if you want to generate a binary file or write on the network. So yeah, that's all for bit fields. One of the great features of C to manipulate binary data. See you.